What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about why men's expectations are so high or unrealistic. Now, as some of y'all know, I'm still answering questions from Instagram. I'm going to try to get through as much of that last list as possible, so just be patient with me. But friend Yusa asked me this. I feel like men with nothing still want you to come with everything. Why aren't men's expectations realistic? Good question. Let's talk about it. Before I start, I just want to let everybody know that my call calendar is back on, so now you can book a call at girltalkwithguys.com without a password. As many of you know, it's password protected because my space was just so limited. I could only deal with the clients that I've already worked with and I'm already currently working with. So anyway, now if you want to talk to me, if you want to book a call, while space is limited, there's still space, so you can still find the slot to book a call, hopefully. And also, if you're interested in my 3-month program, I'm now getting those registrations as well. And I'm now booking those discovery calls. So if you think you want to join my 3-month program before it's too late, click the link below to fill out a form to set up your preliminary call to see if my program is right for you. So again, check the description box in the comment section for that link. Now on to this topic. Why are men's expectations so unrealistic? To answer your question quickly, if a person seems to have unrealistic expectations, it's likely that you're being compared to a person somewhere. Many times that can be a fantasy or a mix of a few real people they have dated. People always like to Frankenstein the perfect partner and then imagine that as possible and apply that responsibility to whoever tries to enter their life. Which is why for so many people, no one is good enough. But this goes both ways. Men and women alike do this. And if I'm being honest, as it relates to behavior, women do this more than men. And as it relates to looks and vanity, men do this more than women. But both sexes do this at an equal rate. So miss me with the man bashing for this video, please. We're all responsible for a little bit of this bullshit. Online dating has changed us forever. There was a time where people were happier and didn't require so much perfection from their potential partners. Where people wanted to commit and grow and love slowly. Where people didn't need the instant gratification. Where people value the process of getting to know a person. And they expected to grow and evolve with the person to become great and didn't have to start out great. But the internet has changed all of that. Now online dating sites show us all the people in the world that we would love to screw but can't. Or that we would love to be in love with but can't. Even so, we know they exist now, so we gaze across our beds just a little bit less enchanted with our own partners or prospects. Being inundated with so much variety and possibilities explodes our relationship with fantasy to heights unattainable to our reality, illogically raising our expectations. Now you can see the person of your dreams at the click of a mouse. And 1,000,000 clicks later, it's a new person that's still the person of your dreams. But when you go outside, when you live your life, it's just the same old regular ass people. This creates frustration and disenchantment. But it also creates unrealistic expectations for what's possible. Especially since a lot of those people we see on the internet aren't real themselves, to a degree. Knowing that there are more perfect people out there, or people who we believe to be more perfect than us, gives us buyer's remorse for any real person we might encounter. Men and women were both happier when all they knew that existed was the current state and the current version of their partners. Men loved harder when all they knew was their real woman, not the 2.0 version of her with the 42-inch ass and the 36 C's that she's missing, and the skin that looks airbrushed, and probably is. Women were much more happy with their men until they found out that they had a doppelganger 2 hours away that was 4 inches taller with a nicer voice, prettier eyes, and a bigger wallet. Before the internet, we had far less people to compare ourselves and our significant others to. So we had less cause to be happy or disenchanted with what our reality has presented us. And if you didn't know already, comparison is one of the very quickest roads to disenchantment, discontentment, and unhappiness. People naturally compare what they have to what they believe is possible or what someone else has. Before the internet, we had only TV and our imaginations to find out what was happening outside of our immediate area and what we were missing out on. Instagram and other sites like it drown us with the most beautiful faces and filters we could ever imagine on the opposite sex. And people can pretend to be whatever they want to be. So everybody's doing great. Greater than you, at least on the internet. If we haven't learned to start every day with gratitude and stop comparing our lives to the lives of others, contentment can be very hard to come by. Living too much in our imaginations after scrolling and swiping for a couple of hours can start to distort our version of reality and our expectations. This makes no one good enough outside of our social media crushes and those who remind us of them. Another issue too is people lack self-awareness. A lot of people don't realize that they themselves aren't the equal and opposite of those they fantasize about. They haven't taken time to think about what this imagined person would want and whether or not they could fulfill those things or be great enough themselves. The level of status and attractiveness they look for, they can't provide and don't have or possess themselves often. The behavioral qualities and relationship skills that they look for, they themselves often don't possess. They don't see themselves often because many men and women's plan for a come up is by that very partner they imagine. Like any nice material possession, this imagined person is to add status and respect to them, making them the envy of others, even though they can't adequately express what they themselves might add to someone else. Even basic stuff like gainful employment, fitness, hygiene, loyalty, and transportation can be hard to find in some of the people with the highest standards for other people, and those who require perfection from others or all their love interests. Unrealistic expectations often pair with a negligent and reality-detached self-image. And this isn't surprising. People always want something for nothing, or to get rich quick, while they actively avoid looking inward to solve their own problems. A quote by James Allen sticks out to me here. He said, "People are anxious to change their circumstances, but hesitant to change themselves." Unfortunately, this is true enough financially, romantically, socially, and so on with a lot of people. People who have unrealistic expectations suffer from this condition more often than not. They don't understand that they must be the change they wish to see in their own lives or relationships. So many are trying to change their life by picking the perfect partner, as if they themselves aren't going to be a drag to that perfect person if they ever met. Normal, decent people aren't good enough because their eyes are fixed on their fantasy. People always want what they can't have, and even those who have experienced the best in life, and even guys who have experienced the most beautiful woman, find themselves in a place where they feel like nothing and no one will ever be good enough. We've seen this with playboys who've always had the best, and who've always experienced the most beautiful women, never being able to pick a partner because no one was good enough, always looking for something better, even though they've had the best, according to what a lot of people think is the best, or what they imagine it to be. Perfection becomes a requirement for their partner, no matter how weak they are as a person or as a partner themselves. It's all a matter of perspective, though. One man or woman's trash is another man or woman's treasure. Besides, some of these people set their expectations so high and require more to see if you would sacrifice yourself for them. So that's also something you have to be careful about. How high will you jump to keep them entertained or to prove yourself? If a guy requires more than you want to give, then let him be someone else's problem. That's all I got for now. So again, my call schedule is back up. So if you want to book a call, you can at girltalkwithguys.com in the description box. Also, if you're interested in my 3-month program and you want to find out more about that, click the link below to fill out the form and book a call to see if we can talk about if my program is right for you. Follow me on KFake24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.